Hello, welcome to the next world. It's Tuesday, April 26th, 2016. We are on another planet here. Things have not gone so well, we've crash landed. Don't read these, actually, can you read these patch notes? Sometimes there are spoilers in patch notes. I don't think there are there, that's okay. I'm going to be careful about showing you guys spoilers on this. It's very much a story-driven game. It's described as a visual novel meets strategy game. Actually, what's their specific descriptor? I wrote this down. Illuminated Games made it. Strategic visual novel is what they call it. And what you're looking at here is the strategy part, which looks like a colony, a space colony game on Mars. Except we're not on Mars. This is a planet in the Eridanus system. We have named it Ares, because it looks like Mars. Get it? Mars, Ares. You are given the option to give the planet your own name, which is kind of cool. Here's your colony. You have to give the colony your own name. It doesn't suggest something. I've called this Second Chance. I didn't feel like calling it something silly like Chicklandia or Chick World or something like that, which I would normally do. After enough of the story had transpired, I kind of felt like, oh, you know, I'll go ahead and take this a little seriously. Sid, who has joined the chat, asks, so the Galaxy ship has crashed. I was playing Galaxy yesterday, and boy, did it crash many, many times. But yeah, sure, you can think of it as the narrative continuity with last night's stream. So, because this is so story-driven, before I get into the meat of the game, in case you're averse to spoilers for this, I want to describe a little bit of it for you, show you some of what's going on, and then we're going to plow ahead with the narrative, so I'll warn you before we start doing that. It is... I was asked previously, hey, if I maybe want to play this game, would watching the stream spoil it for me? And I kind of have to say, yeah, it might. Specifically, once we get past the part where I tell you it's going to spoil things. The intro stuff is about 30 minutes of, like, reading early on, and I've gotten past that. I've gotten past at least a couple of story beats so far. One of them's pretty cool, and I would hate to have had that spoiled for me. I'm going to dance around what that was, and hopefully it won't be explicitly mentioned in what you watch here in a little bit. But if you really want to experience the story of this, and if you are certain you want to play it, don't watch my stream. Just go play it. If you're curious about it, I'm going to show you some of it. And then if you want, you can watch me play it for a little bit to get into the story. Here is our colony. This is how our colony is doing over here. The game starts, and this is the premise, by the way. What I'm about to tell you is just the basics. It's not really a story. It's just the premise. You learn this up front. You are on a ship called the Exodus. The Exodus has been launched by, it's a private enterprise space program back on Earth called, something like Bixen Industries, Big B Industries, something like that. Big old corporate company. Is that redundant, by the way, corporate company? They put together a program to colonize other planets. Welcome to the chat, Eric. You know, I'd never heard of this game either. I make a habit of looking at new releases on Steam, but pretty much every day. And I also get press releases sometimes. I don't think I got one for this. So sometimes I'll hear about a game in advance. Sometimes I just see something on Steam that grabs my fancy. I'll look at the store page and give it a shot. Sometimes, 90% of the time actually, it's terrible. Sometimes it's something like this, which is really intriguing. So at any rate, this corporation on Earth, whose name escapes me at this point, decides we're going to put together a big old ship called the Exodus, and we're going to launch it into space at a distant system, a planet that is habitable called, and I don't know if this is relevant, you're going to some planet called Tanalon? I don't know how to say it. There's no voice acting in this game, which is good, by the way. It's all reading. When you read something, it is a visual novel. When you read something, the voice acting is all in your head, and it's impeccable. It's the best performance you could imagine, because you're literally imagining it. So I don't know how you pronounce Tanalon, the planet you're supposed to go to, and you're on a ship full of all of these modules that would unpack when they get to the planet and create a habitable colony that will become self-sustaining. It will have mining and recycling and hydroponics and a nuclear reactor. All this stuff is part of the Exodus as it flies out. Unfortunately, the ship has a long way to go, so everybody is in cryosleep. We all know what that is, cryosleep. Cryogenically frozen colonists and crew. The game begins with the cryosleepers being awakened as the ship is crashing into a planet's atmosphere. You are decades and light years away from where you're supposed to be. You don't know why this is happening. At this point in the game, by the way, I don't know why it's happening. It's part of the central mystery. Is why has the Exodus been diverted so far from where it was supposed to go to this new place, which is hostile. There's almost no atmosphere in the oxygen. No oxygen in the atmosphere. An unbreathable atmosphere. Of course, no plant life at this point. There's no life of any sort, as far as I know. So the ship crashes, and the first 30 minutes of the game is a kind of a survival. It's basically all text. You get a few choices here and there, but it's all about how the survivors scramble together to find this thing here. Oh, I can't even click on it. This little module here, which is a habitat module. All that everybody has is their breathable oxygen in their EVA suit. Now, you started on the Exodus with 1,500 people, 1,500 colonists and crew. This is your count. I've lost a few of them to radiation poisoning. But for the most part, you start out with about 750 out of 1,500. A lot of casualties just in the basic crash. You get in the first day this habitat module set up, and then as the days go by, as you can see here, I'm on day 16. It's turn-based, by the way, so even though there's a little animation of a fan going here, no real-time shenanigans. You click on this when you're done with the day, and you make a few strategic decisions, which I'll show you about in a second. Here is the morale of my colony. For some people who are stranded on an alien planet, they seem to be pretty happy. Here's their health. Here is how many days of supplies we have. Now, supplies, as you can see in the bottom left, I have 46 supplies. Whatever that means, it means it'll feed 737 people for 3 days. What I can do is put them on double, normal, half, or quarter rations. Right now we're on half rations, because that's a little precarious, 3 days. Our health will begin to plummet if we put everybody on reduced rations for too long. So hopefully we can go to normal rations soon. And I wish I could remember what, if I do this, does it show me? I wish I could remember what these modules are. One of these is a hydroponics, and one of them is a recycling center. I believe this is a hydroponics module, which you wouldn't, wouldn't a hydroponics module have like greenhouse glass on top of it and greenery? I don't know. The hydroponics module is spitting out supplies for us every day, and the recycling center is reducing our supply consumption rate by 15%. We also have additional modules we can build, and I'll show you this. This is the construction interface. For whatever reason, I guess this is the limit of my colony here. I can't build out that way. I don't know that space is going to be an issue, unlike a lot of city builders. I imagine there are a certain number of nodes for a specific number of modules. Here are the different modules I can build. Oh, I can look. Yeah, the hydroponics is what I've got, giving me supplies, and recycling reduces consumption. If I want to build a module, I need resources. Here are resources. And by the way, oops, how do I just undo? Yeah. This right here shows that is some option to, I don't know what emergency recycle is. I'm not going to do it yet. It's not quite an emergency at this point. But I presume if I ever desperately need more than 10 supplies, I can click this button and something will happen to get me. I'm sorry, resources. Supplies are food. Resources are what we use to build the modules. We have over here, this is our vehicle panel. We have one rover and one transport vehicle. I'll show you the screen. There's the rover, there's the transport vehicle. I presume later we can get more because they're numbered rover 1 and transport 1. We can give them orders, and remember this is turn-based. Every day each vehicle can get one set of orders, and it will carry them out when you end the turn, the day. The rover can be sent out to explore, which I presume will unlock different story beats. I haven't explored yet because he's too busy getting salvage. Salvage gets us resources and supplies. Unfortunately, sending a vehicle out also consumes resources. I can have it sit idle. Don't know why I'd ever do that. Oh, because I don't want it to consume resources, I guess. But right now, on balance, it brings in more resources than it consumes. Hello to Richard Holt. This game is The Next World. Dylan Nichols, no, this is not Galaxy Z. That was yesterday's stream. It's been suggested, this game is The Next World, about some stranded colonists on an alien planet. It's been suggested that this is maybe what you would get if the Galaxy ship had crashed. So I can rename my vehicles too, which the characters in this game are they're written. This is a novel. So you don't get to name your dude because your dude or your chick comes with his or her own name. But you do get to rename the vehicles, and I did name this colony Second Chance. Let's rename a vehicle. You know what? Why don't you guys tell me, as long as it's not stupid, what should I name my rover, and what should I name... Oh, good lord. And what should I name my transport? I'm going to let you guys pick that. Whereas the rover can explore, the transport can construct. And once I assign the transport to construction, this little light here lights up and means I can now construct one of these. This will be lit up here to say, hey, you've got a transport vehicle. Because the transport vehicle has to carry around, I presume it's got a backhoe on it as well or something, but it has to carry around the resources. Right now what we're working towards, this is what I really, really want here. This reactor will kick out a set number of supplies for us every day. And I really want that, because all the hydroponics is doing... Wait a minute. For some reason I thought the reactor was super valuable. Whereas hydroponics gives me 7 supplies a day, this only gives me 3 supplies a day? Well, in one of the story beats, one of the guys says, hey, get us a reactor quick, we need it! So according to the story it's important, but I don't understand why I would get a reactor instead of just more hydroponics modules. As I mentioned, the recycling center reduces our consumption. The mining thing, which is what I'm going for now, that gives us resources. Remember, supplies are food that we eat. Resources are construction materials and repair materials, tech stuff. Let's see. We have some names for the... Oh, real quick, entertainment, of course, boosts morale. And habitats give us room to live. The more of them we have, the better our health is. Right now, I can't build anything. I've only got 10 resources. My goal, immediate goal, and once I start running the game, it's what I'm going to be working towards, is to get the 20 resources it takes to get a resource income through mining. Furthermore, we have found a mining module. When the ship crashed, it spread these modules all over the planet. It was a mess. Colonist modules blew up, we lost certain things, things were damaged and broken. The beginning of the game is this very bleak picture of these survivors stumbling around on the planet's surface, like the beginning of Lost, kind of. And you are one of 2 characters who has taken charge, basically the Jack of Lost. And in the early parts, they assemble everyone, you are introduced to more of the characters, and then you eventually choose which one is going to be your protagonist. You'll meet those folks in a second. So our immediate goal, let's get a mining module going. We know where one is, we can bring it in, we can set it up. We don't know where the reactor module is, by the way. It's apparently pretty important. Our immediate goal, by the way, survive. Not very specific. Alright, so let's name our vehicles. We have Rovery McRoverface. Yeah, okay. See, you guys aren't taking this game seriously. I am taking it seriously. I did not give my colony a dopey name. But you know what? So be it. If this is what you guys want the rover to be named, let's see. McMaster, you don't get to name the rover. McMaster suggests Sword Chick Chick or Tom Chick's Sweet Tattoo. You know what? We're going to go with that, and we're going to call it Tattoo. No, because Tattoo makes people think of Fantasy Island, you know? Sweet Tattoo. There. We will name our transport... Dylan, thank you so much for taking this seriously. Dylan suggested Serenity. I like that. Dylan names it... You know what we're actually going to name it? Dylan's Serenity. See what happens when you take the game seriously? You get rewarded. No, I completely understand, because I'm always, generally in games like this, I don't take them seriously. I give things goofy names. These are slightly goofy, but I like both of these. We have a question. Left Empty asks, why are all the buildings red? Well, I think you have enough resources for one. Well, good question, and I wondered the same thing myself. It's like, I have 10 resources. This right here costs 10 resources. Why can't I build that? 2 reasons. I don't have any in my inventory. As I said, when the ship crashed, the modules got spread all over the place. We need a module first. Then we need to assign Dylan's Serenity, our transport vehicle, to construction, in which case this will light up here, and then this will be lit up here. Right now we're going to assign it to salvage. We want Dylan's Serenity and Sweet Tattoo to go out getting us more supplies and resources. Okay, what else do we have? When you pass a turn, there might be a story beat. You will get results back about your salvage. When you come back here, there might be characters who want to talk to you. So I'm going to hit End Day. Here's day 17. And here's the performance of how we have done. First of all, it wants to know if we want the transport vehicle to salvage that mining module, which we have found. We're not going to salvage it yet because we're going to need 20 resources before we can build it. So we are instead just going to have him scavenge. Well, we have a question. Tromic has Alethea for the transport. I like that a lot as well. You know what? We'll name our next transport that. I like that idea. The boat from the Master. Oh my God, Tromic, that's brilliant. Very nice. Eric Geithner asks, what were the rovers named in the movie Moon? I'm pretty sure, Eric, that's a fantastic question. I believe they were just numbered, weren't they? Like number 1, 2, and 3. If Gertie was here, I would ask him, but I don't remember. Richard Holt says he's getting a vibe of King of Dragon Pass meets The Martian. Now, okay, this real quick, let's scavenge and get into day 17, and then I want to talk about that, because I have a bone to pick with someone, not you, Richard Holt. Let's scavenge real quick. So we got 5 resources out of that and 12 supplies. Running the vehicle only costs 1 resource. That's good, by the way. That's the best I've seen in 17 days. So our net gain, 4 resources, we're up to 14, 12 supplies, doesn't give us another day, full day, but that'll go into the supply kitty. We have 62 supplies left. And our colonists pigged out on 15 of the supplies. Remember, they're on half rations, though. Alright, here we go, a story beat. Now, I'm not going to read this stuff to you, so I'm just going to pause for a second and let you guys read it. And then I'm going to kvetch about something in a second. So, you get a call from Mary at the security office. Mary Hassan is, she was former British, I think SAS, and she signed up to be the warrant officer on the Exodus. And she is basically our security. She's in charge of security. That's why she's calling from the security office. Duh. Alright, so this, by the way, I would completely understand someone might see this and think, oh yeah, King of Dragon Pass. I'll get to that in a second, but let's decide. Moonshiners, should we continue them or send security to shut them down? I'm inclined to say, and I've got less than 3 weeks into this story, I'm inclined to say there aren't really any wrong answers. Left Empty says it depends on if they have consequences or not, and yes, they do. Now, if this was a game by Paradox, I would get a tooltip telling me exactly what the consequences are. I don't have that luxury. And by the way, the game, and they even warn you this early on, they say, hey, we're going to autosave at certain points right after you click on a decision. So you're not going to get to reload and go back, which I would never do anyway. So we are definitely going to let them, because I feel like this is a stressful situation, we're going to let them continue with the moonshine. We are not going to have a repressive government here. Let's see what happens. By the way, my name is Shen Takagi. I was the, I guess what? Yeah, was the co-pilot. I'm not the co-pilot anymore. There's nothing to pilot. I was the co-pilot of the Exodus. All right, so morale went up. A little security issue. Okay, no one wants to talk to us. If there was a story beat or someone who wanted to talk to us, their name would pop up in a little speech bubble. Dylan Nichols, after whom our transport is named, says his Kentucky roots say, "Let him alone." I'm with you there, Dylan. Okay, so the whole King of Dragon Pass, if you get this on Steam, it links to, I think it's Rock, Paper, Shotgun, it links to some article where the headline is that this is Dragon's Pass meets Alpha Centauri. To which I say, no. If you've played this, if you spent any time with this and you come away thinking this is King of Dragon's Pass meets Alpha Centauri, I would submit that you have played neither game, King of Dragon Pass or Alpha Centauri, for a couple of very important reasons. Alpha Centauri, super crunchy, super meaty, definitely hardcore strategy game. Very, very strong with narrative, but not through anything handcrafted or handwritten. Brian Reynolds did a fantastic job. There are amazing snippets of prose to give it atmosphere, like with the tech quotes, memorable faction leaders, but it's not at all, it's completely emergent storytelling. And by the way, the same with King of Dragon Pass. King of Dragon Pass presents you with these sorts of dilemmas, but it's not a scripted story. There are no there are gods in King of Dragon Pass, but it's King of Dragon Pass is a bunch of systems that fit together and ask you to make decisions and spit out little story modules. And it creates a very strong narrative because there's a very imaginative world behind it. Which, by the way, I didn't realize this. King of Dragon Pass is not a what you would call an original IP. That whole world comes from something other than King of Dragon Pass, and I never knew this. I had no idea. Not to detract from it, but it's from something else. So yes, this is, Richard Holt says, oh, it's highly scripted. Absolutely highly scripted. The developers call this a strategic visual novel. And the emphasis in this game, and this isn't true of King of Dragon Pass or Alpha Centauri, the emphasis in this game is on the visual novel. And if you've played visual novels, you know what that is. I actually haven't played many. This stuff here, the resource management, I would say is ancillary. Now, ancillary enough that I imagine there's a fail state, but if you want to play a strategy game, this is not the place to come. If you want to play a survival game, this is not the place to come. If you want to read a story about characters, specific characters who have crash landed on an alien planet, if you are interested in prose and narrative, this is the place to come. And it will let you make decisions to navigate through that. Real quick, Richard Holt points out that King of Dragon Pass is not... Left Empty suggests Hero Quest. No, not from Hero Quest. Glorantha, that's right. Richard Holt says that's the game setting in King of Dragon Pass, which had talking ducks, right. So this is a visual novel and not emergent storytelling like Alpha Centauri and King of Dragon Pass. I feel it's hugely misleading to bring those up. Now, to be fair, the developers have clearly said this game was inspired by several things, and they've mentioned a couple of games, including King of Dragon Pass, but they haven't said that this is like that necessarily. So, that said, we're in a visual novel here. There's specific story beats, specific characters, yeah, so it's going to unfold a specific way. When you begin, you pick one of two characters. There's a woman named Lucy Carver, who is the ship's navigator. The game opens in what's called the crew module, where the pilot, the captain, the navigator, and the co-pilot operate, and they're in cryosleep there. The captain had an electric jolt sent through her little cryo chamber thing, and it basically burned her eyes out and killed her before she even woke up. There's a fairly gruesome picture of that. The pilot, his containment thing cracked, and the cryo juice spilled out, and his desiccated head was sticking out of this green goo. So he's dead. They died. As the two remaining survivors from the crew module, the co-pilot and the navigator, You're in charge. You pick which of the two to play. After the intro, it says, hey, do you want to play Lucy Carver, or do you want to play Ten Shikagi? No, Shen Takagi. Yeah, I'm going to screw that up a few times. Pardon me. You have, by that point, met them, found out a little bit about them. Lucy Carver has a son who's in one of the command modules. Shin Takagi has a little sister who is in one of the other modules. Both of them survived, by the way. It warns you before you pick. And there's a little bio for each of them. Before you pick, it warns you. It says, Shin Takagi is more practical. He's going to have fewer problems with morale and supplies, but he will not have as many creative decisions available to him. Whereas Lucy Carver will have more morale and supply issues, but she will also have more choices to make at different times. So it seemed to me like a kind of an easy and a hard mode option. It was never put in that language, but that's what I inferred. I chose Shen to play for a while, thinking that I was going to go back and play Lucy. I just wanted to play Shen a little bit to get a sense for the gameplay. Here I am 17 days in playing Shen. I'm not going to back up. I like where I'm going. Lucy is still in the game, by the way. And it does strongly imply that the characters are going to butt heads at some point. Alright, so that said, let's now run forward with the, let me real quick, Jason McMaster claims my favorite space game is Outpost. McMaster. Sierra's masterpiece of science fiction. And by the way, not true. My favorite sci-fi game would be, oh good lord, I don't know. I'm just going to say Alpha Centauri right now, because it's a convenient thing to say. Alright, so day 17, nothing special. Let's go to day 18. And you know what? If any story beats come up, I am going to play through them. If you do want to avoid spoilers, now might be the time to avoid it. You know what? Just stick with me for 1 second. Just wait for a thought bubble to come up. Hold on. I'll tell you if there's going to be any spoiler thing. Okay, let's send the Dylan Serenity to scavenge. We don't have enough. Oh, now we have enough resources to build the mining module. That's what we'll do next turn. Still going on 3 days of supplies. This seemed like a random event that rolled up. It said something about, hey, the Eridana system has heightened solar activity. There are going to be issues for a week. I didn't see any fallout from that. Nobody wants to talk to us. All right. The last thing that happened, by the way, the crash site where the ship actually crashed, it's irradiated, so it's off map. The last thing we did was the colonists were grumbling about, hey, why did we crash? What happened that we went off course, that we're decades and light years away from when we're supposed to be on this hostile planet, rather than at this Earth-like planet that we were sent to? So, in order to head off any morale issues, everybody loads up, they go to the crash site to get basically the black box. And the black box is a female AI named, shoot, what was her name? Tina or something. I'm sure it stands for something. And you talk to her and you find out some mysterious goings-on, which that's the cool reveal I don't want to spoil for you. Yeah, so I'm going to, that said, I'm now going to start going through story stuff. Something might come up. Wait, bear with me. Let me get you a little speech bubble so you can see how it works. We're going to go get the mining core now, the mining module, because we'll be able to build it. Whoops, we lost a resource. And by the way, the game, I think you just hit this over and over again until some story thing comes up. Alright, now we've got, oh, did I leave the transport idle? Here we go, sort of I assume a random event. I'll let you read this. Alright, graffiti. Do we string them up? Set up designated art spaces for children. Well, yeah, right, of course. I don't know why you wouldn't pick this one. This is one of those things where, I don't know, maybe you're going to play a lawful evil character or something. But, yeah, we're going to let the children paint and draw. We're going to channel their creativity into art spaces. Morale improves. See, why wouldn't I have done that? That seemed like a no-brainer. Alright, still no one wants to talk to us. No issues are coming up. There are a bunch of NPCs who we've met. Every now and then they come up and they say, hey, I need to talk to you about something. Let's make sure Dylan's Serenity is on construction duty. Now this is lit up. And now when we pick this, the mining module is green. Again, these are red because we don't have in our inventory any module. So we'll get a mining module in there. And it's now going to start kicking out resources, which we have none of. Our net gain today, alright. Lack of a working reactor module has seriously hampered the day's production. Alright, so I don't know if we were getting that all along. 3 colonists we're losing them because we don't have enough food, so we might have to go to quarter rations. Okay, here is Shen, and here's Lucy. Alright, we seem to have some labor unrest. Okay, so we can either bust up the Union, we can give into elections, we can deceive the people. I mean, yeah, hold elections, right? We're playing this as good. Left Empty says he doesn't like the writing. He doesn't like being addressed by the you, I guess. I presume he doesn't like the second person. Fair enough. I will say the level of writing in this is, I guess, like your typical young adult novel. I don't necessarily mean that as an insult. There's just nothing special to it. The prose is pretty straightforward. Early on in trying to paint a bleak picture, it's not the best writing, but it gets the job done. Like I said, a young adult novel. You're not here for the prose, you're here for the storytelling, I presume. Okay, so we're of course going to hold elections, right? Lucy has come up to Takagi and said before, I hope you know, the people might want me to be in charge. And Takagi's like, okay. So I don't know if that's a fail state or not. Alright, so we're locked in for free elections. And nobody wants to talk to us. Alright, fair enough. Let's charge forward. Oh, I meant to put people on quarter rations. This is kind of bad news, right? Oh, let's put the transport. Okay, let's send the rover out to explore then. And we will put Dylan's Serenity on scavenging duty. Yeah, salvage. Oh, mining assist. Well, we're going to scavenge. Okay. 9 colonists. Alright, people are dying. We're, okay, I love this, by the way. Hand brain. That's your little handheld data assistant thing. A hand brain. I genuinely like that. That is cute. Alright, so this is a choice, you know, we're using our hydroponics module for food. Do we divert some of that to medicine? And I would say yes. This sort of thing. She hangs up, eyes shining with purpose, right? It's okay, I mean, it gets the job done, but not what I'd call great writing. I know what they're getting at. Sweet Tattoo sets off to explore the world beyond your colony. Yeah, okay, I like that name. Here we go. So, do we explore the planet or get into the crash site? We want more modules, especially that reactor module, so we're going to the crash site. I'm guessing later in the game, I mean, we're here for... I say we're here for a reason. I don't know. It seems like the mission was sabotaged and the ship was sent here. And I'm guessing, you know, is it the corporate thing, like there's some life, like Alien? Is there some life form that we've been sent here to uncover? Or alien ruins or something like that? I don't know. I'm guessing maybe it's going to go in that direction if we start exploring the planet. For now, we want that reactor module, so let's go to the crash site. Okay, so, we'll let them sleep. Why would we do that? Scrap the cat. No, let's get the people out of there, right? We're gonna save lives. Oh my god, look at health! Yikes. We have to go to quarter rations. Okay. I'm sorry I'm not getting to show you any NPC stuff here because I was worried there would be spoilers. Well, when this comes up, you'll know that, hey, there might be spoilers. You're good for now. Yeah, I don't have food. I probably maybe shouldn't have diverted stuff to medicine. Well, let's see, we can eat tomorrow. Let's go to quarter rations. Yeah, that'll get us a couple of days. Yeah, health is not good. If you don't give orders to a vehicle, it will default to what it was told to do yesterday, by the way. So, Sweet Tattoo is still exploring. Looks like Dylan's Serenity is doing a good enough job getting us some supplies and some resources. It does tell you, the game does say, hey, if you get down to 50 colonists, you will lose because that's not enough to run the colony, and it's not enough to, quote, sustain genetic diversity. We still need a reactor module. Let's go to the crash site. Here we go. I've actually seen this event before. I guess a random boost to morale. Left Empty says that it's really it's a real dick move to wake those people up and tell them they can't eat. Yeah, that is kind of, isn't it? It's like rise and shine. No breakfast for anyone. Oh, I should have checked how much. I think it's 20 resources needed for the reactor module. Oh, so we found it. Yeah, we found it. Now we have to bring it back. We're going to have to scavenge anyway. Let's scavenge first to get the right amount of resources. People dying like flies. This is not good. Okay, we got the reactor. Let's set out and see what's on the planet. Left Empty. That's a great observation. He says if there are 700 people, the odds are there's a birthday every day of the year. And actually, yeah, the odds are there are 2 birthdays every day of the year. That's a great point. Someone's math is wrong. See, the deal is, I guess it's a random event, and it might fire off whether you have, 80 colonists or 800. Well, here we go. Oh. Well, I don't know. Okay, this is finally one where I'm wondering. We found a giant volcano. Do we declare the area off limits in case of eruption? We're not going to do that. I mean, there's nothing has said in this game yet that the planet's surface is volatile or unstable. So the odds of there being an eruption, that doesn't seem like a facet of this planet's geology. We're not worried about that. So, do we want to name it, or do we want to organize viewing parties? I'm going to give you guys 10 minutes to type in the name of a volcano, and then I'm randomly going to determine one of them. Actually, no, not 10 minutes, because that means I'm going to sit here and pause the game for 10 minutes. If anyone has ideas for a volcano name, type it into chat now. I think I'm on like a 30-second lag. Well, I guess you guys don't get to choose. But I respect that, though, by the way. A little touch of Chinese lore. Okay, let's see how much it's going to cost us to build a reactor module. Reactor module, 14 resources. We're not quite there. Yeah, we're going to leave things going. Oh, no, we're not going to salvage the reactor yet. We have to get more resources. We got 0 resources, bleh. And it costs us 2 resources. All right. Oh, well. So I guess there's still usable stuff at the crash site, of course. Terrible day for exploration. Speaking of which, you know what? Bring that rover home. We need the rover to help salvage stuff. Oh my god. Terrible salvaging. We're going backwards here. Oh, we've fallen below 700 survivors. Okay, so here we go. Some fallout from our decision about the moonshine. Okay, I think, yeah, we don't want to let this guy get away with it, right? Yeah, we're too short on supplies to allow for a black market. Oh, do we want to be ruthless? No, we're going to arrest him. Our security chick did not seem to like that. She sighs. A little passive-aggressive, Mary. He's up on that. Oh, good lord. Oh my. No, we're not going to get harsh yet. We're going to give him a trial. Oh, good lord. Okay, well, sometimes the law doesn't win. So I guess maybe this is our progress on a fail state of being voted out of office. Sid suggested, by the way, that we airlock Quentin. That's just rude. Or execute him. Left Empty says executing him might be a good exit strategy for the rations. Sounds like Left Empty has been playing that... Oh, shoot. What's that dice game where you're on a ship to Mars and you roll dice, and cannibalism is a very significant factor in whether or not you're going to make it. I forgot what that was called. It's a Steam game that came out a few months ago that I quite liked. Tromic asks, can the habitat grow larger than the screen? Does the screen scroll? Nope. Nope, that's it. Okay, let's see what the numbers are. Okay, the numbers look good. Okay, I guess we don't get to actually see the numbers, but they look good. We're not going to be able to build our module until we get more resources. What is this salvage zero resources business? Oh, good lord. Are the dice just screaming? Do I have everything set correctly? Currently set to salvage, right? Currently set to salvage, alright. Come on, vehicles, you can do better than that. Tharsis! Thank you, Tromic. And Sid, very well done. That was the name of the Mars game. Left Empty suggested Tarvis. And no, that's the name of Doctor Who's lair. Tharsis is the game, Tarvis is where Doctor Who lives. Left Empty is pointing out, and thank you so much, we now have plenty of supplies, so we're going to put people back on full rations. Zero resources again! Oh my god, maybe it's because our... It might be because health is so poor. Alright, so Sweet Tattoo is screwed up. We now have to send a rescue party out. I mean, right? Let's see. No, we're not sending another vehicle. Halfway. You know, conserve air. Yeah, you guys sit tight. Because meeting them halfway, they're just going to burn up their air faster, right? Isn't that how math works? So, you guys sit there, conserve your air. We're coming. We're not going to burn time thoroughly equipping an expedition. Here we go. Okay, so we lost what? One person? Alright, so That could have been worse. Oh, okay, let's put people now on full rations. And let's see if we can dig up some resources. What is going on with the resources? Alright, so guess what it takes to repair a vehicle? Resources. Left Empty points out that also we have fewer people to feed. Should we press the emergency recycle button? I'm going to press it and see what happens. Ready? Oh. Does it give us enough to build the reactor? I feel like we need to do this, right? Achuba asks, what's the name of this game again? It's called The Next World. The developer is Illuminated Games. The folks who made it also recently, or at least the lead designer, a fellow named Ryan Spann, recently made a game called Euclidean, which is supposedly a Lovecraft game, but I'm calling shenanigans on that. It's not a Lovecraft game. It's crazy geometric shapes, and it's supposed to be like a horror-y themed, and you're constantly falling and having to move around things. I didn't care for it much. But this is their more recent game, or at least Ryan Spann's more recent game. Euclidean was made under the name Alpha Wave. I don't know how that works, that one guy has two different studios, but that's fine. This is made by Illuminated Games. They also just did a VR game called Felt Tip Circus, and Euclidean is pushing VR pretty hard. They seem to be really trying to get on that silly VR bandwagon. All right, let's convert 3 days into 12 resources. Shoot, we really want that reactor. I'm doing it. All right, I forget. Shoot, did I just blow it by not even giving us enough to make the reactor? 14. No, okay, we're now going to make the reactor. Dylan Serenity is on construction duty. We're going to put the reactor here, right? Wait a minute. Oh, we built the reactor. Oh, such an idiot. Why aren't you guys telling me that we already have a reactor? And it's not helping us at all. What a terrible reactor. Back on salvage. Tromic is noting that the objective on the screen is survive. I'm partially doing it. I'm partially meeting the demands of that objective. What is 0 resources? Oh, well, here we go. It's becoming more difficult to find things. Well, okay. So I guess we've exhausted resources in this area. Let's send out the rover. Good lord, I shouldn't have done that with the rations then, right? Let's send out the rover to explore. Oh, good lord. I had to repair it. Could I have had something light up in red saying it wasn't repaired? I've just burned several days with a broken rover. Left Empty said it would be nice if there was some way to find out what was killing the colonists. And that's, you're right. Yeah. What? Wait, I thought I'm very confused. Didn't we build a reactor? Oh no, God, I'm so terrible at this game. I didn't even pick up the reactor before. Now we've got it. Okay, we're gonna have enough resources to build it. Well, what is this silly thing? Oh, the mining module. I so suck at The Next World. Alright, Dylan Serenity, get on construction duty. Build us that reactor. And now let's send out the rover to explore. Here we go. Sid points out that morale is still good. Yeah. Tromic asks, can you have one of each module, only one. No, that's that you can have multiples of a module. For instance, the more habitat modules you have, the more it helps your health. 29 colonists died today. Good lord. Well, at least we made 3 resources and only consumed 2 of them. Let's explore the crash site. Right? Let's go ahead and make sure we've scoured that scoured that of useful stuff. That's where we're more likely to find supplies, I would think. Well, maybe not. All right, we're not exploring there anymore. All right, weather issues. This guy here is his name is Sebastian Hicks. Get it? And just in case you don't get it, there's another character named Nina Gorman. I hate it when games make obvious nods to other sci-fi references. I mean, that's... Dudes, come up with your own name. We know you've seen Aliens. We all have. Well, we don't have a choice here. Oh, here we go. Okay, Nina Gorman wants to talk to us. Tromic asks if we're still on normal rations. Nope, we're down to quarter rations. Things are dire. Alright, let's talk to Nina. She's, by the way, a mechanic. She, by the way, was vehemently opposed to setting up a reactor. In the part of the early game where it's basically telling you, hey, you need a reactor, the science guy, Dan Montero, says, we really need a reactor. It's really going to help us. And Nina is like, no, we don't want a reactor. It's going to be too dangerous. The ship's reactor cracked and irradiated the whole area. We don't want that danger here. I didn't want to give in to that panic, of course. I believe, yeah, technology, as long as you're careful, it's always a good thing, right? So Nina was unhappy with me sending them out to get the reactor anyway. Let's find out now what the fallout of that is. Kind of a Michonne vibe, right? Oh. Okay. So what if I... Alright. Well, yeah, we want to ask expert opinion. Dr. Montero's the guy who thought we needed it. You know what? He's the one who talked us into getting it. Let's see what he thinks. Great. By the way, cussing. You'll see. There's mild cussing in this game. Oh, we have other options. Well, let's... No, not reconsider. She fixes it. She's a mechanic. Haha. We talked her into an ellipsis. Always a good sign in an RPG, right? An ellipsis and an epithet. So we lost her support, I guess. All right. Let's explore the planet, yeah? Oh. Okay. What? No, yeah, of course, we want to scrap it for materials, right? Is that a Raiders of the Lost Ark reference? Don't know. Seriously, the destruction of precious relic leaves your people saddened. Suck it up, people. At least morale is great. They can afford it. 3 resources. Okay, good. Oh, this doesn't look good. Hello, Meta Baron. You're just in time to see something have exploded. Meta Baron, the game is called The Next World. Mr. Hicks is Bass, or Bastion Hicks. He's the other mechanic. I feel like I got set up for this. They kept saying, I mean, the science guy kept saying, we need a reactor, we need a reactor, we need a reactor. Hello, Mr. 8 Monkey. We are playing the next world. So, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm reading a little too quickly. Sorry, I will slow down. It's not a text adventure, Mr. 8 Monkey. It is an adventure with some text. I just like the phrase, Bass invites you around his hand brain. Is ionizing radiation a real thing, or is that technobabble they made up for the game? Clorky says it's an actual thing. The inevitable I told you so. She earned it. Is that a real idiom? That's as may be? I'm not sure I've heard that before. I don't know who Jenkins is, by the way. So, someone who I don't know who that person is has been killed. Aha! Well, so we did make the right decision getting the reactor. It was sabotaged. It's not our fault. Left Empty is blaming her, thinking like she did it. Corky points out correctly, Jenkins sounds like the name of a red shirt type of... sounds like a red shirt type of name. Absolutely. I wonder if they can die, if these NPCs can die. I'm guessing they can. I mean, right? Dylan Nichols is blaming the moonshiner. Quentin Miles, I believe his name was. So we have a useless reactor. Left empty wonders if an NPC dies if the population counter goes down by 1. Pretty sure it would, right? Okay, so this is one of these non-choice dialogue things that I think this is here for the illusion of choice. None of these is really... All of these mean equally the same thing and are equally meaningless or meaningful. Whatever. So I see this, and I'm like, why are you making me choose among these? Just tell me your story already. We're gonna pick, sure. Wait a minute, we're down to 544? Ouch. This feels like a hard-coded event. I don't know. Yeah, 50 colonists, of course. We're not gonna just give her 10. We're gonna give her as many. We're gonna give this as many people as it needs. It needs 50. Left Empty says that whole illusion of choice. He calls it very Japanese. Sid suggests turning the reactor off and restarting it. Is that a what is that British sitcom? IT department? IT crowd? What is it? Is that a reference to that? Chris O'Dowd's recurring line. Alright, here we go. Oh, am I going too? Okay. Alright, I thought I would send some other people. Well, we're down to 45. Do we need to be ruthless, right? Or, I mean, personally, I'm okay with us losing 5 because that's fewer people to feed, right? Alright, we're going to do this. We're going to do the compromise. We're not going to stop and make a thorough search, and we're not just going to move on. We're going to send up flares and march slowly. Okay, I'm alright with that. We're down to 47. I mean, it's good we didn't just take 10, right? I love this word, desiccant. Well, yeah, reduce, try to scrape off as much of the toxins as possible. Well, how about, oh, right, are we going to eat it anyway? No, reduce rations, I guess. Good lord, worst expedition ever. Okay. Which flies around later. So some dude sprained his ankle. We're gonna carry him around. Have a couple people take him back to the colony. Yeah, sure. That's why we brought 50, so we can spare people. Alright, we're looking for a feed cooler. If anybody sees a feed cooler, let me know. Michael is, of course, Lucy's son. I don't think we've seen her son called Mickey before, but alright. If I was a little boy named Michael, I would not want anyone calling me Mickey. Okay, so I'm guessing this is going to lead to some a choice. Let's look for the pieces of the shuttle. Let's dismantle a shuttle. I like that. Oh, right. Okay, so this is another countdown. 44 men and women. We've been away for 2 days. We can choose one location a day and send people out to forage, it looks like. It would be a pity if everyone starved to death in your absence. Yes, it would be a pity. Okay, we're going to search for a shuttle. Alright. Oh, good lord. 13 people roasted alive by an accidental venting of jet fuel. Ouch. Down to 31 people. Forget the impact. Well, yeah, let's look at where the... Yeah, let's go in there, right? I like the fact that we got a different picture. That makes me think that's a good thing. Jeez, a Pete. Alright, we lost 20 people to that, but we got what we needed. Oh my god! What is this? What? How did that... Wait a minute! You guys might see the end of this game. How is it that we have 0 food? All right. Oh my god, did I leave the stupid transport on construction duty when... Actually, I wonder if putting it on, probably a little too late. Mining assist, let's see. 2 extra resources a day. Well, resources aren't what we need, really. Alright, let's have our security meeting. This might be a security meeting about what do you do when we lose the game. I like this. So we had enough time to take a quick nap and drink down a hot protein beverage bursting with caffeine. Whether the machine intended it to be tea or coffee is a mystery. There's an anecdote about President Lincoln at one point off in the boonies somewhere ordering a drink and being served the drink and saying, "Ma'am, if this is tea, could I have the coffee?" And if this is coffee, could I have the tea? All right. Oh, is this the end of game scene? Oh, are we outing the saboteur? Okay, I was worried. We're here apparently to out the saboteur. I was worried we were here to kick me out of the game. So far, I don't think we know who this is, but Lucy seems to. Connor. There was one reference earlier to Connor. I remember thinking, who's Connor? I guess we'll find out now. He's a ghost. Wait, what? Yeah, the question hangs in the air like a lead weight. Yeah, come on, rework that. Also very Japanese, right? The plot thickens, as they say. Okay, I'm alright with this development here. Early on, when it's introducing Lucy, and you find out that she has a son, all you know is that she signed up for the Exodus, and against her against her son's father's wishes, from whom she was estranged, Michael came along the expedition, the boy came along the expedition with her. Alright, well here we go. Are they going to explain this away? The idea that the starship has strict weight tolerances. So are we here implying that he didn't take the Exodus? Because that seems to be what the implication is here. That there's no way he could have hidden on board the ship because the ship's weight is carefully calculated. Unless I'm reading this wrong. Well, yes, what? Who would pick that one? No, carry on as normal? Of course not. I think among the 69 people who are still alive, this shouldn't be too difficult, right? Alright, seriously, no supplies, 0 supplies. Didn't we have hydroponics going? Alright, let me just double check. Oh, saboteur hunt. Yeah, so this seems like a story beat. That whole reactor thing seems like very much a story beat. Alright, there's this set to exploration. You know what? Come on back. We need you to... Well, no, there's no... Because I got the impression that salvaging... Well, salvaging is still getting us supplies, right? Alright, we really need supplies at this point. We're on quarter rations, yes. Left empty is suggesting there might be an evil twin. Alright. So remember, if we hit 50, we will not have enough genetic diversity to continue going on. So as long as 3 people don't die tomorrow, we're fine, right? Okay. What do you guys think of this bit of writing? If we keep the cameras peeled, I actually kind of like that one. Passive surveillance, increase patrols, tear the colony apart. Yeah, we want to find this guy for Pete's sake. Right? He's got answers. And if he's trying to break things, we don't want him running around. Let's tear the colony apart. And you know what? It might hurt morale, but big deal. Well, okay, we were great, but I'll go down from average if I have to. I mean, there's only 53 people left. All right. Well, you know what? Those who wouldn't sacrifice little freedom for the sake of security deserve neither, right? Am I right? I love that aberration of, I think it was a Ben Franklin saying. It's not, which is, by the way, not what he said. All right. What Ben Franklin did say, I believe, was something along the lines of those who are willing to give up their freedom for a little security deserve neither. It's not nearly as dire as the people who roll that trope out make it sound. Here we go. There we go. We found him. Okay. What does that mean? This Burke. I don't know that word. I don't know the use of that. So if this game is particularly clumsy, this will be a moral issue about whether or not we torture him. I'm hoping it doesn't go there. Oh, he's Irish, of course, right? How do you guys feel about capitalizing hell in this context? Because I don't think you should. I'm against most capital letters, by the way, that aren't at the beginning of a sentence or on a proper noun. See? Oh my god. Good lord. Alright. If this was a country, if we were the United States and our national identity was at stake, if we had to compromise our values as a nation, I would not torture Connor. Okay, for the record. I would just go with normal interrogation. We aren't a nation. We're these 53 survivors who are 3 casualties away from the game's fail state. Alright? We're going to torture Connor. Left Empty is helpfully saying that a Burke is a stupid or foolish person. The origin... no way. Origin is probably short for Berkeley Hunt. Rhyming slang for another word I don't want to say. From 1936. Oh, Left Empty looked that up. Thank you. I thought maybe you actually knew that. So, a stupid or foolish person. Alright. Alright, we're going to torture Connor. Again, I don't condone torture. If you're watching this stream, don't get the impression I'm condoning this. At least as national policy. In this instance, we're going to do it. By the way, I'm not doing it. I'm going to have Mary do it, right? Do I get to choose? You know what else? What other game I tortured someone in? By the way, this is the second game where I've not me, where I have had a character torture someone. Grand Theft Auto 5, right? By the way, I loved that part of Grand Theft Auto 5. I loved how uncomfortable it was. I loved the statement it made. I thought that was a brilliant bit in that game. This we'll see. Let's find out where it goes. Oh, there you go. See, a little moralizing. Good. When you torture someone, there should be a little moralizing involved, right? Okay. I'm sure the Bush administration would love reading this little bit of dialogue right here. Oh, interesting. Okay. What? Good Lord. I've got a whole new window asking me if I want to do it. This, by the way, I think you saw before. This is the window you get when you want to build a module. So this decision here, as important as what module to build. Yeah, right? We're gonna, I mean, we're 3 people away from losing the game. We're doing it. There, I did it. By the way, they tortured someone. Didn't they torture Ben in Lost? Right? Wasn't that a plot point? This is kind of like Lost, isn't it? Okay, so Mary's doing the dirty work. We're not doing it. Okay, well, this isn't like waterboarding, right? We're just smacking him with a baton. Mary was, I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, or earlier in the stream, she was with the British Special Forces, the SAS, I believe. Left Empty points out it takes guts writing for a character to admit he enjoys the torture. And I think he's talking about the implication that Mary had a little smile on her face when she started in with the baton. They'll kill me. Alright, so we know there is some sinister agenda at work here. See, this is why you don't torture people. It doesn't work, right? You know what? Thank you, game, at least for taking us in that direction. I mean, this is almost like two-pat, but I do like that they did this. Yeah, see? There you go. That's what happens when you torture. You'd think I would have anticipated that, right? Well, we know there's a they, and that's good, right? Oh! Oh! So, there you go. That's a pretty big spoiler. I mean, that's a nice reveal. So obviously that has something to do with why we were diverted here, yeah? So do we feel any better about torturing him, knowing that, we ended up with, I think, 740 survivors of the crash? So from 1,500, by my math, that means he killed 860? 760, right? Do we feel better then about torturing him? One of whom, by the way, was his son, so... Dot, dot, dot. Mm-hmm. By the way, also very lost, isn't it? This idea that, hey, there's someone else on the island, some weird, mysterious bad guys, the others. So, we wouldn't have found this out if we didn't torture him, right? Or would we have? I don't know. All right, and this, oh, good lord. Well, there we go. 29 people. And really, just unceremoniously dumped into an end-game screen. Your terrible mismanagement of the colony. Okay, well, that has been the next world. The next truncated world. So what happens now? By the way, I could have been saving, but I think you only get one save. It's not like you save at various points in the story. Left Empty, by the way, says, it feels like a zombie apocalypse minus the zombies, as opposed to effective mismanagement. All right, let's see. So if we go to the main menu, does it give us the chance to start up from, if we load... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm back to day 17. So I guess if you do save, you back up to where you were. Well, that's interesting. All right. You can undo? Huh. Okay, well, here's the thing. So, that's been the next world. Let me just briefly show if you were inclined to play it. Which, if this is intriguing to you as a visual novel, I haven't spoiled some really cool things that happened previously. So, if in this situation, I've hit a dead end. I've completely blown it with the resource management. If I start a game, I can either play through the opening scene, or I can do this. Skip to the new character choice. Test place. And then I choose which of the two characters I want to be the main character. And from there, it takes off at basically day one, where you start doing the resource management. So there you go. The Next World by Illuminated Games on Steam. A visual novel with some strategic elements. Don't be expecting King of Dragon Pass. Don't be expecting Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri or Outpost or a hardcore survival game. Although it was pretty demanding, it seems. Like I didn't. There was no, you guys saw there was no egregious mismanagement on my part. There was there. I did pretty much more or less the right things, didn't I? So my inclination is because the days, you just tap next day, next day, next day, next day. You can run through that stuff pretty quickly. So my inclination, not right now, but at some point in the future, is to just jump back in, try again, see if I can last a little longer. All right, thank you for watching. Tomorrow I will be streaming. Tomorrow I will be partying hard. There's a game called Party Hard, which is a gruesome murder simulator. I'll be playing on the PlayStation 4, so join me for that tomorrow, April 27th at 6 p.m., and I hope to see you then.